Today, Macon District Attorney David Cook announced he's seeking the death penalty against Tracy Jones, one of the people accused in the murder of Gail Spencer. Attorney Jay Davis is here to shed a little bit of light on how that kind of decision is made and what prosecutors can anticipate when the trial begins. Now, Jay, notoriously, David Cook, our new DA, he's not necessarily gung-ho about the death penalty. And
he's not wanting to get in there too much.
Yeah, and so, I mean, it's understandable. A person's life is on the line, and I've covered death penalty cases where, the person will sit on death row for 20 years. For example, Andrew Cook, I witnessed that execution, and he was on death row for almost 15 years, at least.
Well, let's talk for a minute about why. Why would he make that choice? Here we've got several other suspects or accused in this indictment that's going on. The murder, for that to be a capital murder where you're getting the death penalty, is going to require something in addition to the murder. A murder by itself in Georgia does not allow that. So you have a bifurcated trial where you determine if someone's guilty, first of all, of killing somebody, guilty of murder.
Okay.
And then you have a second trial to decide if they're guilty of some aggravating factor, one of 10 factors. Whereas Tracy Jones actually is probably guilty of several of those 10 factors. The first one's doing it for money, which could be attributable to all of them. One of it's to probably avoid arrest. The fiduciary, the crime of theft in there,
for stealing the money.
Stealing is attributed as fiduciary, which means it's somebody who had trust. Of the group, she's the only one who had trust. So I really think that they're going after her in a fiduciary capacity because she had an obligation, and probably rather than them getting there and getting somebody else to do this thing over the internet, they probably went there to avoid getting arrested.
Now, it's been said that Michael Kelly allegedly sexually assaulted her before she died, the victim, Gail Spencer. And now he has made a deal that if he testifies against Jones, he won't have the death penalty. He'll get life without parole. What about the other two? Because, the aggravating factors are still there for the two of them. How come the death penalty?
The aggravating factor that applies to them is probably only whether or not they did it for money. That's the only one of the 10 that seems to apply to them. The one that applies to Michael Kelly could also be doing it out of depraved mind or torture.
Okay.
But it was probably a long shot for the DA to get that, and he probably knew it, so he probably went with him. He was the weakest. He's had the most to lose if they were to do it.
All right, Jay, it's a complicated case. We'll continue to follow it, and we will continue to ask for your feedback as well. And if you have a legal question you want answered, you can email it to us. Just send it to us at itsthe law@41nbc.com.